Hey folks, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Unmasked. Today we're going to talk about when is the best time to sell your house. Hey, real quick shout out to my friends over at Hive and 3Speak. I just want to say thanks for following me and let's get into this. If this is the first time you're selling a house, you may have heard the terms buyer's market or seller's market. What do they mean? A seller's market is a market where a seller puts a property up on the market and tons of buyers want to buy that house. And so the seller is given loads and loads of offers. That is a seller's market, meaning it's in the seller's best interest to sell. What is a buyer's market? It's the exact opposite. It's when there are so many houses for sale that a buyer can take their time looking at all the properties to see which one they want, and they can cherry pick the property that they want because there's so many people selling. The best time to buy a house is a buyer's market. The best time to sell a house is a seller's market. So which one are you in? One of the easiest ways you can tell on whether you're in a buyer's market or seller's market is to talk to a realtor. Now, they may tell you, if they're a bad realtor, they'll tell you that any market is a buyer's market and seller's market. That's not true at all. Right now, in 2020 and 2021, which it's 2021 now, it has been a seller's market. It has been a seller's market for a couple of years, especially in California and some other hot markets throughout the United States. Now, what that means is, people like me, when I buy houses, I usually do not pay closing costs as a buyer. And as a seller, I try to minimize them as much as possible, but I bought during the seller's market. And what did I do? I had to pay the closing costs because that's what it ended up being in the negotiation. But what did I get in return? A lot of equity. So there are certain things that you have to be willing to do as a seller and certain things you have to be willing to do as a buyer during a seller's market or a buyer's market. So one of the first things you do if you're going to be selling your house is find out, are you in a seller's market or a buyer's market? Why? If you are in a seller's market, there are more things that you can get away with, such as offloading some of the closing costs to the buyer. When it's a seller's market, you also get a lot more deals to choose from. And when you get a lot of deals, you want to choose which one is the best one that is most likely to close. You don't always get offers that are much over the price, and you will sometimes. But let's say somebody comes in and they have a terrible possibility of actually getting a loan, and they're saying, oh, I want to pay you $20,000 over your price. They're not going to get the loan. All they're going to do is string you along for a couple of months, and then you're going to fall out of escrow anyway. So you're going to go with somebody who can say, well, I'll pay you what you're asking, and I've got cash money. That's why people close escrow with people who pay cash. That's why they give them a discount. It's because they know they'll close versus somebody who may close or probably won't close. Okay, so you want to take that into consideration in a seller's market. In a seller's market, you have so many offers to choose from. You can choose the people that want to buy the stuff in your house or the people that don't want to buy anything that's in your house, that you can say, no, I don't want to give away my curtains. I don't want to give away my washer and my dryer and other things. Whereas in a buyer's market, they may come to you and say, not only do I want your house, but in order for us to close this deal, I want you to buy me a big flat screen TV and I want you to buy me a car. And in the buyer's market, back 2008, 2009, in that buyer's market, there were people that were selling cars, giving cars away if they would just buy their house. So that can happen in a buyer's market. In a seller's market, that won't happen. In a seller's market, you just get more money. So that's cool. In regards to the best time to sell your house, of all the studies that I have seen, right around April and May are the best times to sell your house. Why? Well, in April, the flowers bloom. The trees start to blossom. The trees open up their leaves, and in May, everything's open with as far as the flowers in the trees. They're full bloom, they're full growth, but school is usually out in May or June. With schools out in June, what happens is people will start the escrow process before school is out so that by the time school is out, they can move into their new home. Because a lot of people don't want to move in the middle of their kids' school year. So you'll find around May, right around April, May, that's going to be the best time to sell your house. That's when you're going to get the most money. That's based on one study I saw from Zillow. People sell their houses 6 days faster on average listing in May. They also get about $1,600 more money by selling in May. So when is the best time to sell? In most areas, it's usually in the middle of spring, right before the summer. So you want to take advantage of that. And the next best is right after that, is at the early part of the summer, so that when people walk in, they have plenty of time to buy the house before school starts again. The worst time to sell a property is going to be right around Christmas time, because anybody that has the money to buy a house is spending their money on gifts instead of buying a house. So You want to know when is the best time for you. Now, this can be different in communities that are vacations. In places that are vacation resort areas and you're selling your house because you've lived there long enough, you want to go to some other resort, maybe you want a bigger house in the resort area, whatever it is, the best time to sell in those areas are right before everything gets hot, because the moment it gets hot, that's when everybody's going to be in your house. That's when everybody wants to see what's going on. But if you can do it right before it's hot, then you know all the people that are thinking about going that are going to also look into what it costs to buy a place there. And you're going to get a lot of people to go. They're going to close escrow, get there during the hot season, and they're going to love it. And they're going to be more motivated, see, as a buyer, to give you what you want or to give you a higher price so they can get there before the hot season. But it's just right before the hot season, not during the hot season and not after the hot season. So, you know, if you're a ski resort town, you probably want to start selling your house probably sometime around August to September-ish is probably when you want to list the property, so that by the time you close escrow in October, the first snow has fallen, potentially, and people are ready to go. And of course that changes depending on where you are in the world and when you get your first snow. So keep all those things in mind, guys. I have other videos that have talked about when the best time is to buy or sell, and I'll try to put one up there in the corner. And I hope you enjoy this series. This is the series on when to sell your house or how to sell your house. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're on Hive or 3Speak, thanks for following me, and I'll see you guys next time.